Not a problem. You guys have any questions before? Nice. All right. You guys have any questions before Mike starts? You want him to kind of like just play for about 20 minutes?
I'll play till I drop, and then
You want some brush work, some stick work, whatever you want to do, Mr. Mike.
I'll play a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play some brushes for a while, just to be different instead of bashing right away.
Okay, that's great. I mean, Mike's going to do some brush work. Thank you, Mike. All right, Mike. Very good.
Getting there. Maybe little sticks before we get to the questions.
Okay. Gentlemen, any questions on that? I thought that was some really nice brush work. Anything you guys want to know about brush work? How to stir the soup? Make the sauce? No questions. I think we're going to get a few more hits in here because I changed a few things so this does work. Okay. Mauricio, Doug, any questions? I get. He wants to know how we can play like that. How do you get to play like that, Mike?
Got to take lessons from me.
That was a good one.
Ah,
You want to take lessons with Mike Clark, you have to go to New York City, or when he's in Mexico, you could hook up with him. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of experience. What is the case, Mike, when you do use brushes? Usually, you're in a different kind of environment. It's like instead of like a heavy-duty fusion, loud kind of thing, sort of not. And everybody associates brushes with, say, the term cocktail music. But the beauty about brushes is when you play with the piano, bass, and drums, Is that where you got your experience with brushes, Mike?
Yeah, I just played a lot of bebop gigs, a lot of jazz gigs, a lot of trios, and I just learned to play the brushes since I was a kid. I've been playing them all my life, you know, and I find I'm not inhabited by, I'm not hemmed in by playing brushes. If I play a ballad, every little move I make is part of the rhythm. So, I enjoy doing this. So when I play a ballad, I don't think that you have to play stupid licks or anything. You know, I can play almost everything that I do with the sticks. So. So it's not boring for me to play a ballad. You know, I don't feel hemmed in. Which way am I looking? This way? I'm looking over here because you're over here. But I mean, are you guys out there, or are you over here, or where?
Now you know
Anyway,
what I go through.
Learn to do pretty much everything you can do with the sticks for the brushes, and it'll serve you well. It's an interesting, playing the brushes is very interesting to me. Etc. Etc.
That's real
Okay.
nice. Very nice. Anyway, the gentleman asked who he wants to play like that. How do you play like that? He should take lessons from you.
Yeah.
He says he has your book, so it's not working. So can he get a refund?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I'll be glad to send you a refund.
All right, Mike, just do your thing. It's your show.
All right. Let me just see here.
Yeah.
All right.
question. Oh, first, let me ask this. Hey, you gentlemen, would you like me to send you the PDF note for that one?
I'll play it again so that you can get it.
I missed that part. Anyway, want to talk about drum solos, Mike? Structures of drum solos?
Yeah, I find myself better off if I play a form like 32 bars. If I play 32 bars like... If I play like that, then I have I feel like I'm saying something. I feel like if I'm just playing over a flat surface, like one chord, where I'm just like, I can do a lot of stuff, but I feel better if I'm playing a blues or a form. So I try to become really adept at playing. Let's say rhythm changes. I'll play really a bebop style, so you can hear everything like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm back at the top, 32 bars, right? So I made that real obvious so I could mark off all the sections. Sometimes I go over a section on purpose because in my mind I know where I am. But I can also play very avant-garde because I worked on playing song structures. So if I did the same thing, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm still playing 32 bars, even though it sounds like I'm going nuts. So if you know how to do that, if you know how to play song structures and song forms, then you can really tell the band during the drum solos where you are. Since I'm not Buddy Rich, I'm not going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 after 20 minutes of playing. So the band has to know where I am. Okay? Let's talk about hi-hat displacements. Traditionally, but after a certain point, to be a little more expansive, I play the hi-hat where I want to, but I know where the song is, I know where the 1, 2, 3, 4 is, I know where the top of the beat is, I know where the beat is, period. So I can put the hi-hat where I want.
great, by the way.
Thank you.
I like that displacement and not the norm. You're taking it outside. The questions that are coming in is how do you develop that? Well, basically, you practice.
Yeah,
But
yes.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
For you, what they want to know is how you develop the structure when you're playing. Do you hum the tune? Do you listen to the tune? What do you do?
At this point, I've listened to so much jazz music that I know most of the standard tunes, and I know a heck of a lot of jazz tunes. So, yes, I know the structure to the tunes, the form. I also know the melodies. So, I don't have to count to know where I am in the form. I can just hear it by now. It's like anything you do. If you do it enough, it becomes second nature. It's like I just know. Sometimes I hum the tune because it's fun in my head, or I hear the tune. But sometimes, if I'm playing a drum solo, I will hear a tenor player or a trumpet solo. The trumpet player in my mind is playing over the changes of the tune. I'm backing him up, even though it sounds like a drum solo. So all kinds of little games I play with myself to entertain myself while playing music that swings. If I'm playing a funk gig and everything is like, if I solo on that, then I'm like, I'm not really playing over rhythm changes or a blues form. I'm just kind of, I'm actually starting to figure this drum set out. This is Matt's set, and it's coming to me now. I'm getting better. Anyway, I'm like, yeah. All right, goddamn.
Do you have a problem with my set? No, I'm already kidding.
So, anyway, yeah, like that.
Anyway, they know what how to develop the form. Is that what they're saying? What is an open solo compared to a form?
Well, an open solo is you're not playing over a form. You're just playing like an open solo would be like. So I'm just making this stuff up. I can take my time and sort of try to challenge my hands and challenge my technique and challenge my ideas. If I'm playing over a form, I have to play the song. Let's say I'm playing over I Got Rhythm. Do we know this song? Do you guys know that song? I'm asking you questions now. Do you guys know I Got Rhythm?
I Got Rhythm. I know it.
Well, I know you know it.
It takes them a little time to enter here because there's
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, if I'm playing over song form, then maybe I can't really, I'm not thinking about the kind of drum ideas or the technique or I'm thinking more of the song. So if I'm playing I Got Rhythm, I'm like 3, 4. I'm concentrating on the form of the song, and I can play very simple or more complex, whatever. At this point, I'm hearing the tune in my head, whereas if I'm just playing over an open surface, I can change tempos. I can be at this tempo. I can go here. What's the difference? There's no song form that I'm playing, so I can just try to gracefully take myself into different tempos or whatever. Usually when you're playing a song form, you don't want to really do that. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe double time, maybe half time, but you got to kind of be true to the AABA, 2 A sections, a bridge, and an A section if we're talking 32 bars. Blues, 12 bars. So no matter how crazy you go, you got to be there at the end of the day. Whereas if you're playing open, it doesn't matter when you stop. I don't think.
Okay. Sorry, Mike. I just went over to the other side of the room. How did you get termed Godfather of Funk when you were a really great jazz drummer? How did you get that term?
I paid a lot for that. I went to the mafia. My mother's Italian, so I sought out. No, I'm sorry. Somebody else called me that. I don't have anything. I never said anything about linear funk. I didn't. This kind of funk thing I play like. I never called that linear funk. I started playing this way. And then doubles and paradiddles. Somebody else called that linear funk. I do not call myself the godfather of funk. I would say the godfather of funk, who's alive today, would be Bernard Purdie or Clyde Stubblefield or Jabbo Stark. Those cats would be the godfathers of funk. I would be the nephew of funk, but I'm really not a funk. Once again, I'm not a funk drummer who plays jazz. I'm a jazz drummer that plays funk. That's why my funky stuff sounds bent, like I'm like. It's all the setup. All of this is the setup for improv. I'm more of an improvising out funk drummer than I am. I can play pocket like, I used to be able to. I did plenty of gigs like that for years, but I'm sort of more in an open creative space now. Unless you want to give me some real money, then I'll play time. So I set most of my funk stuff up so it'll be open for a more jazzy, a more interactive, a more communicative, a more conversational, a more whatever space than for me to, it sets a nice backdrop or an environment for me and others to be able to improvise, which is what I usually do. So when it comes to paying the bills, there's nothing wrong with this. Not saying that, but for me, I find this a little more interesting.
Very nice, Mike. Thank you for that. We have a question about Ghost Notes and about your book.
Okay?
The funk drumming book.
Yeah.
And one more, and compound it with how do you develop your Ghost Notes? I hate that term.
Yeah, well, I would say when I was young, I came from, when I played funk gigs, the root was this. And on the records, there was somebody a lot of times playing tambourine. So we couldn't afford a tambourine player. You'd have a 4-piece band. This is true. So I was working in Texas and down south, and I started putting this. that's how it started for me. I found it necessary to do that, not all the time, depending on the tune. And then that led to a more sophisticated more jazz influence. But at the beginning, it was this. Then in the fusion days, you had to play very loud and fast, so everything was like. So I took when I played jazz, if you played fast tempos, I would divide the hi-hat and the bass drum. So I took all those jazz ideas and just ran it as one long. And that helped me to deal with like all of the extremely abusive, loud amplification of so-called fusion music. I didn't make that word up either, but it was extremely loud. I mean, it was I was used to this. I wasn't used to playing at these huge volumes, so in order to deal with it, I came up with a whole bunch of ghosting.
Okay.
That was the other part. Sorry, Matt. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No.
You pointed to me for questions. I'm sorry.
No. You're the guy. You're the guy I was playing. Go ahead. I was playing around. Go on.
All right. Well, so some of these questions that are coming in here, you know, one man is asking me, well, how do you? He knows he's not going to make a living playing drums. He's going to do a living. He's going to play drums for fun, and he wants to play well. Again, what do you recommend?
Play every day. Play 4 or 5 days a week. Play a lot, and you don't have to practice 10 hours a day. Play until you're tired of playing. Play when it's joyful for you to sit down. When you sit down the drums, if it feels lousy and you don't want to play, don't play. If you're going to really try to be great, then you have to practice. That's different than just playing for fun. That's work. And if you're going to do that, then you got to dig in and get the rudiments and the hands going, hands and feet, different ideas, coordination, four-way coordination, independence, blah, blah, blah. Then we're talking, then you got to practice. When I sit down to practice, I don't play what I know. Like when I go in the practice room, I'm not like, I don't play what I know. I try to do things I don't know, you know. Otherwise, to me, if I'm doing something I know, I'm not practicing unless it's building reflexes, which is boring and fatiguing and it's hard and you got to have some serious dedication to keep those chops up. So there's several levels to this, you know, in my humble opinion.
Your book, Mike. I guess we could show everybody the book.
Okay.
They know the book. I think it's coming up.
You know, I have some CDs in that stick bag right over there. I could get them in, but except I can't get out from behind
Funk
you.
Drumming by Mike Clark. See that? Oh, yeah, here's you.
Look at that young drummer on the cover.
Yeah,
Who's that? The
Who
new
is that,
young
your
cat.
younger brother?
The new young dude. Yeah, man, look at that guy.
You want to talk about that? You have CDs, you said?
I do.
I'll get them.
Thank you. Yeah, well, this is obviously my book, Funk Drumming, and it has like my style, all of this ghost and type of, that was a little hard there, sorry, type of mentality, concepts. It has all of my different ways of looking at things. I kind of took the New Orleans and made a thing out of it. Got all my old, a lot of New Orleans guys would be mad and say that's not authentic. They're right. That's my way of doing it. But A lot of my Oakland stuff. A lot of weird Oakland fills. We used to push the fills instead of being relaxed like we'd be like. Of course, we were all in our 20s, you know, so that's what's in the book. Now my CDs, or at least some of them. This is my latest, the red one, Wolf. This is with Christian McBride, the great Christian McBride. Also, the great trumpet player, Wallace Roney. And this is Michael Wolf on piano and myself, Michael Clark, on drums. Haley Neiswanger, who plays with Miss Spalding, which is a great gig, and a great alto player that's new and visible in Downbeat right now. She's new on the scene, and she's very, very good. And Daryl Johns, a great bass player. This is the Wolf and Clark Expedition 2. And on it is some forward-thinking, I would like to think it's forward-thinking type jazz, post-bop.
Where can they purchase these?
Okay. 2. Wolf and Clark 2, and you can get that, you know, Amazon, this, that, the other, all over the place.
This is funny.
You want me to do it? Maybe they can see it from me. Let's see. Can you guys see this? Wolf and Clark Expedition 2.
And what is the blueprint?
This is an older one. This is Blueprints of Jazz. And on here is Donald Harrison, Christian McBride, Patrice Rushen, Jed Levy, and Rob Dixon, and this is both of these were high in the jazz charts for 3 months, and this one here, the one that Matt just showed you, Blueprints of Jazz, was one of the top 10 in Downbeat of the year. That was 2010 or 9 or something like that. Anyway. Mike Clark, drummer Mike Clark is my website where you can get more information. If you want to buy some of these, send me a check for $153,000 and I'll get them right out to you immediately. It's like not a lot of money for some
That's
of
a
you.
cheap price, Mike.
I'd say, yeah.
All right. The one guy loves this book, the folk drumming book, and he just said he started working on the exercises, and it's so difficult for him to develop the accents and the sound and the feel. Well, you know, I think some students here, or some of the guys, the drummers, just think, you know, you buy the book and you open it up, you start playing, and it's going to sound good. What do you think about that?
Well, here's what I think: you have to balance your drum set. Like if you have ghost notes, you don't want them to be like. So you got to balance it. You know? So you want to balance the whole kit. You know, it's like if you're playing jazz, you're not always playing as loud as you can, so it's a lot of different textures. Anyway, so, you know, you're not at the top all the time.
Very nice, Mike. Very nice. There seems to be no more questions here. They have the information about your brand new CD and your past CDs in your book. Do you have any future books coming out?
I am working on a bebop and post-bop book now, but I'd probably put it out myself. I haven't sent it to a company. First of all, it's not finished, and That's what I'm working on. I have no. It's gonna probably take me another year to finish it because I have a fairly serious w- touring and work schedule. So it's hard to just take 3 months and devote it to. For me, it is to a book, which is, to be fair, and to make a great book, I would have to. When I did this one, I just took 3 months out of my life and started writing and going over things and it's a lot of work. Yeah, as you know. Yeah.
Anyway,
Here.
you're in collaboration. You're writing another book somehow with somebody else. Is that?
Well, I'm writing it. The guy that's going to, I'm going to play, and then my friend will transcribe Towner Gallagher. So I'm not writing it. It's my stuff that I'm playing. It will be my phrasing. My drumming comes from like Max Roach. I took a lot of Max's ideas. And then because I was into him quite young, Philly Joe, all those guys, I developed some pretty nasty phrases. That one kind of came off weird. But, and then is when Elvin and Tony Williams and Jack DeJohnette and Lenny White and these people became popular. I made advancements in my own. I became more expansive as those people influenced me. So now my drumming is much different than it was when I began with the Max Roach thing. Not that it's any better or more advanced than him, because I'm not saying I can play like Max Roach. I never transcribed a drum solo in my life. I would hear what somebody was doing. My generation is usually like this. And then I would kind of do my version of that. So when I say I'm playing like Max Roach, I do not mean that I can play like Max Roach at that level. He's one of my heroes. What I mean is I took what I thought, some of the parts of his drumming and different people's cymbal work that I liked, and threw it in a pot, stirred it up, and made my own scene out of it. You feel me on this? It's like I never really wrote down, but I know he played triplets with singles. I do them with Patellas. So I would make my own way of doing what I heard another guy doing. I'd go see these guys live, and I'd investigate what they were doing. Philly used to play this, Philly Joe. So, I made my drumming more conversational. So I can be a straight time player and play right on the beam, or I can be more loose. Not sure where I'm going with this right now, but what I mean is a more open sound than okay? Does that make sense? Did that make sense to anybody? I sort of went on.
Anyway,
I don't know where I went in the middle there. I went somewhere.
I must say, my drums sound nice, Mike.
Yeah, they do. I am enjoying playing them. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Steve W. was interested. I mean, was thankful for. I want to thank them.
Me too.
For sponsoring this part of it, and your other companies, which are what?
I play innovative percussion drumsticks, which I really dig. Can you see the
I give it.
name? I love these drumsticks. They get a good cymbal sound. Aha! Istanbul cymbals. I play the Epoch line. This is an AGOP here. Oh wait, no. This is Epoch also. These are the Lenny White line of cymbals. This cymbal here is one of the cymbals made from the Tony Williams Nefertiti cymbal, the ride. This ride cymbal has a lot of beautiful sounds. I can get a lot of sounds out of all these. Nice crash, low pitch and good stick. And I like the hi-hats, dark, but you can hear them.
What about the heads, Mike? They sound nice.
I use Evans G1s on everything. On everything. DW drums, of course, and that's it. That's what I do. That's what I use. You know.
I also want to thank her for making this possible. That's very nice of her. And I've been playing DWs all my life. I like your T-shirt. It's the 25th
yeah, I guess that says
See,
it
I think I'm
all.
on the wall there.
Oh, okay. I see. All right.
Okay. If you want, you have anything else that you want to do? You just want to solo this out, or?
Yeah, maybe I'll solo a little bit. Unless anybody, do these guys want to say anything to me, or
Mike came in here. All right. Anybody have any more questions?
Somebody's called.
Somebody's calling me now with a question. Hello. Okay, I'm doing fine. I can't really talk. I'm streaming live from my house on a computer. All right. Can I come and see you, say sometime tomorrow? All right. How about Friday? Friday in the morning? About 9:30, 10 o'clock, 9:30? All right. Thank you.
Another student for Matt.
Yep, I told him to wait. I'll tell you, the telephone rings in the inappropriate time. But that's okay. I'm sorry, Mike. You just want to play
I'm
it
fine.
out.
Okay, I'll play a little
It's
bit.
up to you.
You,
There's no questions.
no questions at all? Is everybody still there, or am I just playing?
Everybody's here.
Okay.
everybody standing, Mike. You got a standing ovation.
Thank you.
Anyway, we got one more question. The name of the cymbals again, the make and the sizes.
Okay. These are all Istanbul EPOCH. 22. This is a 20 crash ride. 22 ride. 17 crash. 18 crash. And 13-inch hi-hats. That should do it.
Okay,
On
that's
that.
good. You okay now?
I'm fine.
I'd like to thank you, Mike, and hopefully we get you again. Say 6 years from Tuesday. No, just kidding. Anyway, the next guy we're going to have is Mr. Alan Herman. He's sitting in the audience here now. And for those online students that are listening, there's not going to be any lesson tonight and Friday. I'll be back Monday. And again, I'd like to thank the DW, Evans, the cymbal company, and the stick companies. And Mr. Mike Clark for taking his time and sharing with everybody his concepts and techniques. So, with that being said, gentlemen, it's time to get a cigarette.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Matt Patella, for having me. And I just want to leave you with this. That's supposed to be. See you. Thank you.